Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sankarshan Prabhuji, Dhamma Pranams.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Let me make you spotlight. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, am I visible and audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. We welcome all of you for the today's morning program, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Sankarshan Prabhu, and he will enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 12th chapter, and the text 16. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So please accept my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas present here. So Prabhu, let me share the screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I'll share the screen. That screen. Show my system audio. You're able to see it, Prabhuji? Yeah. You're able to see it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Okay, right, Prabhuji. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto 12th chapter 16th verse. तस्मान्नरो सङ्गसुसङ्गजाता ज्ञानासिनेहैव विवृक्नमोहः हरिं तदिहा कथनश्रुताभ्यां लब्धस्मृतिर्यात्यतिपारमध्वनः. Tasmat, for this reason, Naraha, every person, Asanga, by detachment from the association of worldly people, Susanga, by the association of devotees, Jata, produce, Gnana Asina, by the sword of knowledge, Iha, In this material world, Eva, even Vivrukna Moha, whose illusion is completely cut to pieces, Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Tadiha, of his activities, Kathana Shrutabhyam, by the two process of hearing and chanting, Labdha Smritihi, the lost consciousness is regained, Yati achieves, Atiparam, the ultimate end, Advanaha, on of the path back home, back to Godhead. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Simply by associating with exalted devotees, anyone can attain perfection of knowledge, and with the sword of knowledge can cut to pieces the illusory associations within this material world. Through the association of devotees, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing and chanting Shravanam and Kirtanam. Thus, one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness and sticking to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Return home back to Godhead even in this life. Purport. To become liberated from material bondage, one must give up the association of worldly people and accept the association of devotees. Positive and negative processes are mentioned in this regard. Through the association of devotees, one develops Krishna consciousness, which is dormant within. This Krishna consciousness movement is giving the chance to everyone. We are giving shelter to everyone who is serious about progressing in Krishna consciousness. We arrange for their lodging and board so that they can peacefully cultivate Krishna consciousness and return home back to Godhead even in this life. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the fifth canto, 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Conversation Between Maharaj Rahugana and Jadabharata. होमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यं Hare Krishna. So once again, I would like to welcome all the devotees for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So thank you so much for joining and giving me the opportunity to discuss about Krishna. So, so I'd like to seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that I can do the service for the pleasure of Guru, Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. So in this, the context is like Jadabharata. He's speaking in elaborate. Whatever he has already discussed, he was actually speaking in elaborately because Rahugana is actually a very humble king. Just in the previous chapter itself, we have seen. Actually, he was mentioning that I don't fear the thunderbolt of Indra or the different weapons of different demigods, but I fear the offending the Vaishnava. So he's actually a very humble king. So he's actually asking the Jadabharata again to elaborate more, because he don't want to miss anything. So Jadabharata, out of his compassion, when he sees the sincerity of the king, he started again discussing in more elaborate. In the further chapters, it comes very graphic of forest of material enjoyment. So that is that is the nature of the great souls. So when somebody is asking them sincerely, then they pour their heart, they reveal their heart, and give the ultimate knowledge. That's what in the translation Prabhupada is telling. So simply by associating with exalted devotees, one can get the perfection of knowledge, that Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttam. That knowledge one can get it. And when he serves when he serves the devotees, then that knowledge becomes a digested knowledge, and with that knowledge one can cut to pieces all the illusory associations in the material world. So there are so many unwanted necessities. Prabhupada tells that this is an unnecessary necessity. You ask people to chant, they will tell so many reasons why they can't chant. Chant, they will say can't. Why? Because their day is filled with so many unnecessary necessities. Those are self-created duties. So in this world there is so much of illusory associations are there. It's very difficult to come out of it unless one develops that strong positive association. That's what Prabhupada is telling in the purport. You see, one should give up the negative association and take shelter of the positive association. So if you see in the nectar of instruction, there are two very very important verses. One is positive, what will help bhakti. That is what? Utsaha nishchaya dhairya tat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato vritti shadvir bhakti pranashyati. I think sangatyaga is actually the detachment from the worldly association. And if you take to the other verse, that is what destroys the bhakti is अत्याहार प्रयासश्च प्रजल्पो नियमाग्रह जनसंगस्य लौल्यं च षड्भिर्भक्ति विनश्यति. Janasanga is actually again the same thing. In both the verses, one common thing is actually association. So it's very very important one actually uh, detach from material association and attach to spiritual association. Then how does it mean? Like every day we have to, day in and day out, we have to meet with the people outside in the office and things like that. So association means one should not reveal their heart. Just a working relationship can be maintained with the worldly minded people. But if somebody opens the heart, that is the problem. Why? Because if somebody opens the heart, they will inject the material aspiration. Just like you say, if somebody if some devotee who is actually almost every day he's sleeping at 11 or 12 o'clock, and then he's trying to get up, somehow he's trying to practice 4:30, 5 o'clock getting up and then doing it. Eventually what happens, because of not following the health rules properly, eventually his health will be lost. So in that case, if he goes to a non-devotee, then what he will tell? He will tell that yeah, actually sleep is very important. We should sleep 7 to 8 hours. So he will tell that you get up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, then it will be fine and all. But if he goes to a devotee, what he will tell? He will tell the same thing. Yes, sleep is very important. 6 to 7 hours is very important. Then why you are sleeping at 11 to 12? He is actually go to the root. Why he is actually? So if you carefully observe, in a day somewhere he is actually wasting a time, so that eventually he is leading up to 11 or 12 o'clock or something. So you see, devotee also guides him, but devotee's concern is he has to connect to Krishna, so that he could sleep early, get up early and connect to Krishna. But non-devotee guides in a way where he is actually goes away from Krishna, because once the morning program is gone, that day's chance is the golden chance is missed. Correct now? So like that, one should be very careful uh, not to reveal the heart to the outside materialistic people, but only to the devotees. Now there are in the Bhagavatam first canto 15th chapter, Prabhupada in one of the purports, Prabhupada writes this thing that the chapter when Pandavas retired timely, that time Arjuna was remembering Krishna very fondly. He is actually remembering all the incidents. One such incident is actually Kandava Prastha forest. So the Agni Dev is actually devouring the Kandava Prastha forest, and Arjuna is helping Agni Dev from Indra. not that Indra will shower rain, so that he is helping Agni Dev. So in that Kandaprastha forest, there is one demon called Maya Danava. So this Maya Danava, he's trying to run away from the forest. He's trying to run away, but when he come out of the forest, there is Krishna with the Sudarshana Chakra. Krishna wanted to kill. So he doesn't know what to do. Backside it is fire, front it is chakra. What to do, he doesn't know. Then immediately he saw Arjuna, who is standing next to Krishna, immediately fell at his feet. Then Arjuna, he has given the shelter to him. He told, no, 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 don't worry, you are safe now. And then Krishna withdrew the Sudarshan Chakra. So he was very grateful, Mayadanu. He asked, what can I do for you, Arjuna? Then Arjuna said, no, 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 you go to Krishna and surrender to him. He is the Supreme Lord. Then he went to Krishna, and Krishna told that, see, you don't have to do anything to me. You make a good palace for Arjuna, Pandavas only. Like that, that is a pastime. In that purport, Prabhupada writes, you see here, like we are all also like Maya Danava. So in this world is like a samsara dava naralidha loka. It's actually burning with tapatraya, threefold miseries and so many things. It is actually burning. But when we don't want to live in this world, what is there? Kala Shakti. That is like a Sudarshana Chakra. That chakra of Kala is always trying to devour us. So in both the cases, we are trapped. Then what is the solution? The solution is just like Mayadana take shelter of Arjuna. If we take shelter of a devotees like Arjuna, then we are safe. Then Prabhupada writes again that you see, Mayadana got the shelter of devotee. Then eventually he got shelter of Krishna by devotee's mercy. And by Krishna's mercy, he got the opportunity to serve the Vaishnavas. So this is how it will work. One approach a Vaishnava, gets his mercy. From that, he could approach Krishna, and from the mercy of Krishna, again one gets an opportunity to serve Vaishnavas. So like that. So the point here is, in order to connect, in order to develop a relation with Krishna, the Vaishnavas are extremely important. Actually, that is the very key aspect. So that is why one positive aspect is to develop association with devotees nicely. Now, there are, the point is, okay, we want to have a very good association with devotees, but if we are not careful, it is considered, association is considered to be like a fire. If somebody does know how to utilize it nicely, he will grow very fast. But if somebody doesn't know how to utilize it, actually they'll get burnt. In the sense, in the Vaishnava aparat, they'll keep doing it. So we should know how to associate with devotees nicely. So I was hearing a class on this. So Prabhuji was telling there are three things we should really take care, so that we are actually utilizing the association to the fullest extent. What is that? First thing is actually one should have a deep, meaningful, lasting friendship with the devotees. That is first thing. And second thing is, in that association, one should hear about Krishna. One should hear Krishna Katha. That is the second thing. And the third thing is, through that Krishna Katha, what he heard, he has to develop a deep connection to Krishna. That is the third thing. So actually, these three are very, very important. Sometimes what happens, if we just keep on hearing but don't put that endeavor to develop that relation with Krishna, what happens is we'll try to become like Mayavadis. Mayavadis, for them, Guru is everything. Mayavadis say Guru is Krishna, and on the extreme other end, Sahajiyas, they tell there is no Guru, only Krishna. But the bhaktas are balanced. They actually respect Guru and Krishna, and they respect Guru on the platform of Krishna, but they have to have both the connections, actually. Correct? So that is the bhakta. So that is why the third point, one has to connect to Krishna personally, because it is said, in the heart there are two birds. One is the Jiva, one is Paramatma. And what Paramatma is doing, Paramatma is always waiting when this Jiva will turn back to him. So it's actually very important that one just not going in a frenzy of meeting so many devotees and not spending time with Krishna. Actually, one has to take out some time and spend some time with Krishna to develop. Why? Because that's a must. Jiva, if he has to feel that love and that inspiration, one has to have the connection with Krishna. That's why Prabhuji is telling that. So now there are three things: deep, meaningful relation with Krishna. So what happens? So I'll tell you, Prabhu is telling, see, if we don't develop love for, in the sense, if we are not connecting with Krishna, the third aspect is not there. Only if we keep hearing to devotees, then there are cases when a person has taken shelter of a Vaishnava and he accepted the guidance, but eventually, when things go wrong, he will blame that Vaishnava because you have given this kind of guidance. That is why I'm here. No, that is why Prabhuji is telling. See, we take the guidance from devotees, but we have to have our own inspiration, personal inspiration also. We have to really sincerely pray to Krishna and develop that connection, so that when we take the decision, it will become personal decision. It is not that we blindly take the decision and do it. Rather, we check with our inner Paramatma also. Prabhuji is telling that we should actually connect, so that it will become personal decision, so that we don't blame that Vaishnava who has given that guidance later and all that part. So that we will discuss later. So the first point, coming back to the first point, is one should have a deep, meaningful, love, lasting relation with Vaishnavas. For that, three very important things are required. Three very important things. The third thing is very common. That is, one should have some relatability with that other Vaishnava. He should see something common in that Vaishnava. The third thing is very common even in the material friendship and spiritual friendship. But the first and two are very, very important in order to have a very long lasting spiritual friendship. The first element is we should always think that this person is very dear to Krishna. Why? Because he is a servant of Krishna. He is one in a million. Krishna is telling, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye. Out of so many people in this world, one actually takes shelter of Krishna. He follows this principle of Krishneka Sharanam. So that is why this person is very, very special. He is one in a million, literally speaking. So he is not an ordinary person. He is very dear to Krishna. This principle have to be always remembered when somebody is dealing with the other Vaishnavas. So this is first thing. Second, why? Because the outside people, see, somebody may say the outside people may have a lot of good qualities, but devotees may lack some good qualities. But if devotees are sticking to the process of hearing and chanting, and in the process, eventually they will get all the good qualities. Bhagavatam tells that Syasti Bhaktir Bhagavatya Kinchana Sarvai Gunas Tatra Samasate Sura Harava Bhaktasya Kuto Mahatguna Manorathena Sati Dhavato Bhagi. Means, if somebody is not a devotee of Krishna, where will he get all the good qualities? Just like if a branch of a tree, it cuts from the tree, it may look green for some time, but eventually it's lost all its charm. Similarly, the non-devotees, they may appear very courteous and all these things, but eventually they lose all the good qualities. Why? Because they are not connected to the root of Krishna. But whereas devotees who are connected to the root, they may, it appears that they may lack some good qualities, but eventually when they are sticking to the process, they will have all the good qualities of the demigods, all the devatas, like that. So that is why it is very safe to actually see the devotees, that they are very dear to Krishna and they're one in a million. There is no doubt about it. And the second thing is, one should respect the devotees for having different opinions than myself. So it is not that everybody will have a same opinion of me. One should respect him having a different opinion than myself also. Why? Because he is a unique jiva. He has the way how to please Krishna. So I should actually be able to appreciate what he is trying to tell. That is the second thing, which is very, very important, which is not there in the material friendship. Correct? Now, if these two things are followed nicely, then the third thing is, obviously one should have very some common aspects where one can relate. Like, somebody who is a grahastha, he can actually very much relate immediately to a grahastha, right? Because they're in the same this kind of thing. Like that, somebody is a youth, 12, 13, 14 years, you could relate to the 13, 14-year boy only, like that kind of relativity and all these things is there. So if these three things are followed, one can have a deep, meaningful relationships. Because when that respect element is there, then that's there. Coming to the second point, in that association, actually one should hear Krishna Katha. This is very important, because this is where the magic happens. One can come together, but coming together and doing what? Machitta Madgata Prana. They should actually read and hear about Krishna. That is when the real thing happens. So Jiva Goswami, in one of the Bhakti Sandarbhas, he writes that if somebody sincerely hears Bhagavatam, three of his doubts will get clarified. The first doubt it gets clarified is, does Krishna exist? Is Krishna really God? That is the first doubt that gets 100% clarified when somebody hears Bhagavatam. And then after that, if he keeps on hearing Bhagavatam sincerely, the second doubt that gets clarified is, can I overcome temptations and my shortcomings in the path of bhakti? That is the second doubt, because many times we are stuck in this thing. We think that I am so fallen, I just cannot grow, because many times we don't know what is the power of Krishna. Prabhupada tells that, some quotation we have seen, right? Don't tell Krishna how big your problem is, tell the problem how big Krishna is, right? So because we don't know what is the mercy and power of Krishna, that he can do immediately all of the shortcomings and temptations, obstacles on the path of bhakti. That doubt can be clarified, because if we keep on thinking I am fallen and all, then there is no deep progress at all. And Prabhupada tells this story. There is a Dasha Chakra Bhagavan story. He tells it. There is one person called Bhagavan Das. He had 10 enemies. So these 10 enemies hatched a plot that they will sit at different spots in the road. And then when Bhagavan Das is passing on the road, first person tells, "Hey Bhagavan Das, you become a ghost now." And he tells that, "No, no, no, I am a person only, I am not a ghost." Then he goes little further. The second person tells the same thing. "You become a ghost." Third person tells the same thing. So at the end of the 10th person, Bhagavan Das was convinced that I have become a ghost. So if we keep telling that I am fallen, I am fallen, I am fallen, so we don't take the further steps only to grow in the Krishna consciousness. Yes, I am fallen, but still Krishna loves me, because I am trying to, I am trying to develop that connection with Krishna. So Krishna will be happy, and Krishna will eventually will remove all obstacles in the way. So that is the second, so the second doubt is, can I overcome? Why? Because I can overcome, because Krishna can help me. That is the second. And the third thing, if somebody keeps on hearing Bhagavatam, third doubt that will be clarified is, does Krishna love me? Do I have a trusting relation with Krishna? That is very deep, and that will be clarified, because they can actually feel the presence of Krishna if somebody is keep on hearing Bhagavatam. So this is the second, coming back to the second point, one should hear Bhagavatam. Now there are different ways to connect to Bhagavatam, or Vani we say. There are different levels of Vani: Vaikhari Vani, Madhyama Vani, Pashyanti Vani, and Para Vani. Vaikhari Vani means what? Vaikhari means just at the external words, what devotee are saying, just I am just hearing. That is a Vaikhari Vani. Say, just like if a husband is telling wife, let us go to the temple. The words, let us go to the temple, is actually Vaikhari Vani. It's just the words. And Madhyamavani means the words which are not spoken but in the mind, in the thought, basically. Like suppose, if you are telling, let us go to the temple, he's got a thought first. Let us go to the temple, and then he spoke. The thought is actually which is not spoken, that is a Madhyamavani. And the third one is Pashyantivani, means like before the thought comes, actually what impelled him to have that thought. Probably he may be feeling some shelter at temple. He may have that homely feeling. That idea, which is actually a thought in flashes, that which triggered the thought to come in the mind, is actually the third aspect, is Pashyantivani. Okay, so just like if somebody says mother, like mother is actually the word, the letters. Actually, if somebody who is not very, who doesn't know English, for them mother is nothing. But if we heard mother means what, mother, and the mother feeling, that thought is there, correct? So there can be Madhyama Vani. But if I say Amma, Amma is actually very, because we all know South India, we call Amma, right? Amma is a very deep word. It is connecting to the sound at the Pashyanti level, because that experience is actually the Pashyanti platform. Correct? So this is the difference. Vaikhari, Madhyama, and Pashyanti. So Vaikhari is relative. Relative means the word may be something to you, something different for some other else. Vaikhari is relative, Madhyama is reflective, and Pashyanti is receiving. Fourth one is Paravani. So when it comes to Bhagavatam, how one has to hear? Vaikhari means what? Oh, Prabhuji, you have done so nice class. Why? Because there are a lot of jokes are there. So we laugh like anything. We just hear the words and that is Vaikhari. Just connecting at the external level. The second level is Madhyama level. Madhyama level means somebody who allows the words to enter into their thoughts. Means they contemplate, they reflect on what they have heard. That is a Madhyama Vani. Correct? And the third one is Pashyanti Vani means they are actually Pashyanti means what? Just receiving means just listen and hear what Krishna is trying to tell me in this thing. That is Pashyanti Vani. So he is not in a mood of nothing, he is just present there. He's trying to listen and understand Krishna is trying to tell me something in this thing. That is why that is become very effective. So devotees are supposed to be in this Pashyanti platform in order to grow very nicely. So Pashyanti means we really have to connect to that Vani, to just hear what actually Krishna is trying to tell me. How can I please Krishna by how can I mold my life? All these things happens. Why? Because he is connecting to the Pashyanti Vani. Correct. So that's the thing, Pashyanti Vani. And then the fourth level is Paravani. Paravani is actually, it is not achieved, it is given by Krishna. Paravani means one should actually feel the reciprocation from Krishna. Like when somebody is hearing Bhagavatam, he should actually feel that Krishna himself is speaking to him. That reciprocation, that Paravani, the fourth level of connecting to Vani is Paravani. Correct. So at least devotees have to come to this Pashyanti Vani, where actually they should receive what in this thing Krishna was trying to tell me. Now coming to the Paravani, the third aspect I told. First one is to have a deep meaningful relation. Second one is to hear Bhagavatam. Third one is actually to connect to Krishna, is actually very much related to Paravani. The Paravani is actually one who is hearing Krishna everywhere. So we have a solid example of Prabhupada with us. So Paravani, he is these people actually, they are so evolved. Actually, they could see Krishna in everything. Like before, if somebody is a very beginner and all, they'll try to see everything in Krishna. Yeah, you don't do exercise. No, I don't do. I just dance in Guru Puja, and that is my exercise. No, they don't take care of physical, mental, emotional needs. They try to everything. In Krishna only they try. But if somebody is becoming evolved, then actually they see everything in Krishna. They have their own time for yoga. They have their own time for, because they could see everything in Krishna. Just like there is so Prabhupada, many pastimes are there. One such pastime, when Prabhupada, he was falling sick actually. So devotees have taken him to one doctor. One doctor came, and this doctor is not he's an ordinary person actually. Not a very specialized doctor as such. So this person came and he told Prabhupada, hey, Swamiji, the problem with you is you pray a lot. You pray a lot, you are not walking. So he's telling to Prabhupada. So but Prabhupada, immediately he could hear Krishna's voice in that. Yes, he's telling correct only. And then he started walking, and all the series of walking lectures that we have got is because of that one doctor who spoke something, and Prabhupada heard Krishna's voice from the doctor. Correct? Why? Because Prabhupada could see everything in Krishna. Prabhupada could see Krishna in everything. So there was one argument with Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Prabhupada, and Prabhupada sometimes takes the side of a Grahasthas and Tamal Krishna Maharaj is on the other side. So the argument became very heated, and this Tamal Krishna Maharaj, out of frustration, he told, if everything fails, I might as go to China, something like. I mean, if that is a normal statement. If somebody is frustrated in USA, they are normally they will just tell that I'll go to China, like that. But here, when he says that, Prabhupada immediately says, yes, you should go to China. So that time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was, he's leading a big Sankirtana party and so many things, but he left everything because Prabhupada said that you should go to China, like that. Okay, so that's so because Prabhupada could hear it. One time, Prabhupada was walking in a beach, and all disciples are going, but Gurudas Prabhu, he was actually becoming a little late. So he ran to that. In that hurry, he forgot to wear chappal. So they're going in a beach, and he was actually little inconvenient because there are a lot of stones are there, little inconvenient. So Prabhupada asked, "Hey Gurudas, why didn't you wear your chappal?" So he said, very, very, he said that Prabhuji is telling, he said the typical ISKCON answer, the most inauthentic one answer he told. He said that, Prabhupada, when I am with you, I feel no pain. Like that, he told. But Prabhupada was very quick to catch that inauthenticity, and then he corrected, "Oh, you don't feel any pain? Then why don't you cut your throat?" If he told, then everybody is laughing. Then Prabhupada is telling, "See, there is already a lot of tapasya in bhakti. Okay, so we should not create unnecessary, this one. We should be, we should be authentic. We should be genuine, and then we should follow the bhakti process." Prabhupada is telling that. So Prabhupada could see that, that feeling, and then sometime, and then they have moved forward, and in the afternoon time, Prabhupada said, all devotees, you go to ocean and then enjoy the ocean bath. Like that Prabhupada told. Then devotees are waiting, and then they are enjoying in the ocean bath. Then one devotee came, Nandakumar Prabhu. He came to Prabhupada. "Prabhupada, I think we are not supposed to enjoy. No? We are not supposed. We are always to be in Krishna consciousness. We are not supposed to enjoy, right?" Then Prabhupada said, "Oh, don't you see? The ocean water is Krishna. The sunlight is Krishna. Everything is Krishna. How can you miss that?" So, I mean, just to tell that point, that Prabhupada could see everything. Prabhupada could see Krishna in everything. That is Then there is another devotee, I think Panchajanya Prabhu. He was coming and telling Prabhupada, "Prabhupada, that's okay, but we are in an enjoying spirit. We are in an enjoying spirit, but how, like, how to go ahead with that?" Then Prabhupada tell, "See, all the resources were given by Krishna only, but Krishna, tells him to use it, but don't forget to remember me. Don't forget to remember Krishna. Okay, so you have that, but you remember Krishna." That's what I think Prabhupada told that time. So basically, eventually, we are not here to do so much stuff. We are not basically, we are here to remember Krishna, not that we are here to do tapasya. The ultimate tapasya, the goal of tapasya is to remember Krishna. If that is that famous shloka Prabhupada tells, right? "Aradhito yadi hari tapasa tadakkim, naradhito yadi hari tapasa tadakkim, antar bahir yadi hari tapasa tadakkim, nantar bahir yadi hari tapasa tadakkim." If somebody is doing so much of tapasya, he's not able to remember Krishna, then what is the use? If somebody is remembering Krishna, what is the use of tapasya? Like that Prabhupada tells that. So the ultimate point is actually to remember Krishna only, sir. But that's what Prabhupada is trying to tell. So one devotee has brought champaka flower to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada immediately smelled it, very nice, and then he looked at the color of it, and he immediately told, "This is the color of Lord Chaitanya." He immediately, because he could remember Krishna at that time. And then one time they're walking, and Prabhupada has seen one dog. He was telling, there is Vishakha Mataji who is also present there. So he was telling that, "Vishakha, you see this dog? It has so many qualities. Like Prabhupada is giving 5 qualities of a dog, how it is faithful, and all these things he is giving. And he is giving in very, very elaborate manner." So Vishakha Mataji is wondering, Prabhupada is telling so much about this dog. And then finally Prabhupada told that we should also become like dog of Krishna, like that. You understand, right? So as the devotees evolve, they try to see everything in Krishna. They try to take care of physical needs, emotional needs, everything, but they try to do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the way one actually eventually will say. So here, so that is the third level. The third level is, one has to connect to Krishna. One has to take out some time, and then one has to really uh, put some effort to actually develop that relation with Krishna, because Krishna is there in the heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Krishna is there. Actually, he is the one person who is more than anyone in the entire creation waiting for us. That is, when we say, if somebody is very dear to us, we'll say he is very close to my heart. Actually, why we say that? Because Paramatma is very close to us. Paramatma is one who is so close to us in the heart, That is why we say you are very close to heart and all. So actually speaking, Paramatma is one who is waiting to develop that, who is waiting for us, so that we develop that connection. So this third aspect, the first aspect is to have a deep meaningful relation. Second aspect is to hear Krishna Katha in the association. And third aspect is when we hear the Krishna Katha, we have to go deep and then connect to Krishna. Otherwise what happens is we will miss the whole point. We will not connect to Krishna, so eventually we will not feeling that love that Krishna is trying to give us. That is what happens. There is one person who he is Rajagopalachari. He's very, I think he's a famous person in the Indian politics. He's one of the last statesman governor or something. Very accomplished person. No matter whatever the world leaders, they met him 5 to 10 minutes also in their life, and they will write about that conversation after 40 years in their life. They will fondly remember that conversation. Such is a accomplished person is this Rajagopalachari. Like people like Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy, all these world US leaders, when they met Rajagopalachari, just 5 to 10 minutes, they have written about him in their biographies. Actually, such is the person. So this person met Srila Prabhupada in 1972, almost at the verge of at the end of his life. He met. So he was actually appreciating Prabhupada, and he told that, but Swamiji, I have one concern. Your devotees are very nice. They are very simple, loving Krishna very nicely. You're doing it. But I have one deep concern. What is that? Is your organization is growing so rapidly. It is becoming very rapid. So what happens if it is becoming so aspect? There are a lot of income, a lot of cumbersome aspects creep in. So if the devotees are not fixed on this aspect of connecting to Krishna, or why they have come to the ISKCON, the reason the people come to Krishna is for Krishna. If they forget this one point, they will actually identify with so many of the other things in the institution, and they will get lost. And then what happens, they will be within institution, but they will be the victims of the materialism, like outside people only. So like that he was telling Prabhupada. And then Satsuru Das Maharaj in his Leela he writes actually, after this meeting with Rajgopalachari, for few days, Prabhupada was very grave. Actually, he is very thinking of this thing, that devotees, they should not miss this core point, that all the activities should be centered around Krishna, and we are here to develop that connection to Krishna. That is the goal of life. That is the goal of everything. So if we miss that third point, then it will become so dry that after 20, 30, 40 years we will think that, am I really doing correct thing? All these doubts comes in. Why? Because we have not spent the good amount of time developing the relation with Krishna. That's what Prabhuji is telling that. So this is very important. So first thing is to have a meaningful relation with Vaishnavas with utmost respect and this thing. And second thing is actually to hear Krishna Katha in the association of devotees at Pashyanti level. At least, Pashyanti level is to at least be present and listen, and then try to understand what Krishna is trying to tell me in this statement, what Krishna is trying to tell me in this thing. That is the minimum thing. And then the third thing is, one will eventually be evolved, and then he will be able to connect, and then he will feel that love. The core, the need of all the souls is actually to love and to be loved. That is the core need. And who can give more love than Krishna? Dharma's past time, Suniti was telling that you can come to me, but if you go to forest, he will give 1 million, 10 million mothers, how much ever love the mothers can show, that much love one can get from Krishna. So he is the reservoir of all the love. So if that need is satisfied, when we are getting love from Krishna, love Krishna, then the devotee will be peaceful and happy. So that is how these three things are very important. So this is how Prabhuji is telling one has to associate with devotees. All these three aspects have to be taken care. If any of it's missed, also one will feel that lack of something is missing, and all these things like that. And one has to be genuine and authentic also. Like we cannot artificially pose someone as if we are not. We are not. We have to be authentic. Yes, I have a lot of shortcomings. I have a lot of, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to do that. And Krishna is always happy. Krishna, as soon as you take one step ahead further, Krishna is really happy. But people may not see and understand. See, some person who is struggling with lust, outside people they may not see him how he is growing, but if he is taking very very small results, like that, Krishna is always observing and Krishna will be very happy, like that. So the connection within the connection is also very important. And coming back to the first point I told, so whenever any decisions we take also, we really have to go deep and then pray to Krishna intensely and sincerely and develop that connection. From that connection, whatever the inspiration comes, and then we can go ahead with that decision. Okay, we may fail, yes, we may fail sometime, but without failure there is no life. One may fail it and again one may get up, one may fail it, one may get up, but eventually, like just like we all know that Prabhupada in the initial in the West, he started Sanskrit classes, which was not working. Before that, he started Jhansi League and all, which was not working. So many phases we go through. We take decision, we fall, and then we understand, we get up again, we take decision, we fall. So eventually, but each fall, each something, we need to really connect back again, so that that failure should not become a stumbling block or discouragement. Rather, it should give a hope, and the ultimate hope giver is Krishna only, with his holy name. As soon as this holy name is actually such a great hope in this age of Kali, that it was so easily accessible, and it is there to help us at any point of time. There is nothing. See, people, why they go to, they take drugs and then they do all these things. They just want to hide away from the reality. But for the drugs, what you can see, they pay medicine, they pay money, and they go to some secluded place, and then they try to, and then they get some nasha, they get some this thing, again it will come down, again they want that thing, again they. But here you can see the holy name is such an addictive thing, that it is free, it is accessible, it can be done in public, and then it is always there to give shelter. So Krishna has made the entire thing, golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtana, the thing that is eternally going on in the spiritual world, that is actually brought to this world by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then that is given to all of us. So if somebody develops that connection with Krishna through chanting of the holy name, through Srimad Bhagavatam, then they can be really situated in peace and joy. Yeah. So Prabhu, I think we are already 8 o'clock, Prabhu. So yes, Prabhu, I think we can stop here, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful and
Hare
like
Krishna.
you connected us to the Bhagavatam. I think you can stop sharing, Prabhuji, or
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes. I stop sharing.
like nicely, like how you started with this association, like you mentioned two verses, avoiding the non-devotees association and then avoiding, sorry, and taking the association of devotees. Then you mentioned, okay, taking the association of devotees, like it is, we have to be very careful. One is that, like, very nicely using the association, where you mentioned 4 points, and then otherwise it will end up in the offenses and it is dangerous to our progress. And then how to or why to take the association of devotees, then you mentioned three things, like we to have the deep meaningful relation with the devotees and hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. And the third thing that you mentioned is connect to Krishna by taking some time, who is very closest to our heart. And as part of that, you mentioned 4 levels of different hearings, like Kanishta, Madhyama, and then Pashyanti Vani, Paravani. So they're like
It's Vaikhari Vani, Madhyama Vani, Pashyanti Vani, Paravani. Yeah.
thank you, brother.
Yeah, that Vaikhari one is Kanishta Vani only. Yeah, yeah. Huh.
And the different levels. And then you elaborated much on this Pashyanti Vani, like what Krishna wants to tell me in this particular hearing or this thing. And then the last one, Paravan, and you mentioned at least devotees should be on the level of Pashyanti Vani. And then you mentioned the Paravani, which Krishna gives, is not like achieving. So by saying our sincerity, these things. Then you have given like a lot of examples about Srila Prabhupada, how Srila Prabhupada could see Krishna in everything and everywhere. Like Some of the examples we gave was like doctors coming and saying, okay, Prabhupada, you need to walk. Then because of that, we are getting the like we have a lot of walking lectures. And then Tamal Krishna, Goswami Maharaj conversation, then Gurudas Prabhu's conversation, and then ocean bath examples like remembering Krishna every time. And then Prabhupada talking about the dog's qualities, and at the end, Prabhupada said, "Become the Krishna's dog," and like that. And then also Sri Prabhupada remembering, seeing the or smelling the champaka flower, and then remembering Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's color, and lot of examples that you have given. And then you mentioned like Krishna is there in everyone's heart, so take time to connect to Krishna, and because Paramatma is the closest one to our heart, and we need to make all our activities are centered around Krishna and to connect with Krishna. Then you mentioned about everyone feels to be loved and want to share their life. Sorry, want to share their love. So who else than Krishna can have this unlimited sharing of, I mean, giving of love or sharing the love? Then the example you said, like Sunita, Mother Sunita telling to Dhruva Maharaj, like if you go to the forest and achieve Krishna or Vishnu, so who is giving the thousands and thousands mother's love to you. Then you mentioned about the glorification of the holy name, how it is free, accessible everywhere, and it is public, and we can do always without any limit of time or everything. How it is brought by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Goloka to here, and how should use it. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very nicely.
Okay. Oh, Jai. Nice summary, bro. Jai. Thank you.
No, no, it was nothing.
Very, very.
Devotees lines are just unmuted and ask any questions or clarifications. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu,
Oh,
Dandavat
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Mataji.
Prabhu. Prabhu, that Bhagavata story, no? What was the name you have given? That,
Dashachakra Bhagavan, Mataji. You can, I think you can type, Prabhupada give and tells in one of the lectures. I think, I think what I heard was, I think 1966 or something, Mataji. In one
okay.
of the lectures, Prabhupada told that thing, Dashachakra Bhagavan. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So that means if we keep think in that lecture, why Prabhupada tells that, he tells that don't think that you are a low one again and again and again. You are a spirit soul. You are very dear to Krishna. On that aspect, he told actually this story. Many times we demotivate ourselves so much that I cannot do anything. I cannot do anything. No, actually, yes, I may have so many shortcomings, but if I take little one step, Krishna will be happy, and that's what all I want. So that hope, actually, that hope is we need to have that hope to progress. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful
That was
lecture.
very nice. You mentioned like we should not always think that we are fallen, fallen, fallen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in that case, like what should be our mood, Prabhuji? Because like we say, okay, our mood should be that like we should think, okay, we are the most fallen. Then we should not think that we are most fallen. Like if we keep
No, no,
thinking,
no, no. It is not like that. We should think fallen, but if I take little one step, Krishna will be pleased. So that the see that hope should always be there, right? So it is not that we think that we are a great devotee. No, nothing like that. So actually, we are fallen, but we should think that with all my see, if a child who is having some shortcomings, will father doesn't love him, he will love him, correct now. So it is not that he will not love him. So we should always think that Krishna will love me only if I take little further step. He will be happy, all these things like that.
In fact, Prabhu, today we all got a message from Sundarup Sham Prabhu. He said in 8.5.24, it says
Sorry, Mataji, you need not
8.5.24, Prabhu. He said,
8.5.
Lord Krishna is very much pleased with his devotees, even if they are not on the topmost stage of devotional service. Even
Yes.
on the lower stages of devotional service, one is transcendental, and if one continues with devotional life, he continues to be a Deva or a Sura.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
He
We have
says,
to be connected. That is the yes,
yes,
Mataji. That is that connection is always should be there. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Mataji.
this gives hope, Prabhu.
Mataji, yeah.
Sometimes when I see all of you are in such a this thing, I don't know. I'm just in the foothills only. You were all at the top of the
Mati, I am just speaking, Mati. I want all of the devotees' blessings to realize and to implement what I spoke. I just
pray for
heard and
all
then
of you.
I
I
just heard
pray,
and repeated. That's it. I don't have any realization or any implementation. So please help me.
I
Please,
always pray for all of you so that you can give us more and more kathas.
Hari Hari Hari
Hare
Hari.
Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Dhanavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandvat Pranam. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Prabhu, when I was hearing to your lecture, I could recollect from one of the lectures, um, glorifications, that how Srila Prabhupada connects everything to Krishna. Like one devotee wanted to do chapatis first time, he could do it in such an irregular shape. So he was worried. When Srila Prabhupada came and started doing it, he said, see how round it is, as round as the moon shape of Krishna. His face is like a moon, and
Right.
it was puffing up so nicely. And he was comparing to the cheeks, how they're puffed up, so that
Correct.
I could relate. Prabhu. So every second he connects to Krishna. That we learned from Prabhu.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Wonderful,
Hare
Mati.
Krishna.
Actually, that's they could see
Dandavad
Krishna
Pranam.
in everything. That is the thing, Mati. Yeah. Yes.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Narration devotees, any other questions? So there are a lot of comments from in the chat, Prabhuji. From Pralachana Gaurang Prabhu, wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rosie.
Anna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Gautam Gopna Prabhu, thank you for wonderful lecture.
Please pray for me. It is all in the head. There is nothing realized as such. Please, if you pray, then I can follow what I spoke, Prabhuji. That is the only prayer I have. It. Yeah.
And from Prem Priya Mataji, thank you for wonderful, inspiring class with exams from Shastra. Then thank you for the wonderful class from Sudarshan Rajesh Prabhu. Prabhu, one doubt in this one, like it is kind of intelligent, not some devotional. So, like this association Jadabharat, he has done 100% avoiding the non-devotees. But we don't see taking the association of devotees in the Jadabharata life.
Correct. Yeah.
So, is it,
No, I didn't understand, bro. Jadabharata did not take any association.
there
That's
are
what.
two things, like association is one is avoiding the non-devotees association.
Correct. Yeah.
Then other one is taking the association of devotees. So Jadabharata has like avoided the non-devotees association.
He's having constant association with the Supreme Lord.
Yes, but devotees we don't see.
Devotees association.
I
Yeah.
just
Yes.
asked, bro. That's why I said intelligent.
I also don't know, bro, but I don't know, bro. I think somebody can help actually. I also not sure, bro. What?
One is like anyway, it's there from the previous lives,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in this particular life, we
correct. I think we can check with some no devotees actually. Probably devotees can kindly unmute and can enlighten on this.
Prabhu, what is the question, Prabhu?
Mati, question is we should have association of devotees and we should avoid association of non-devotees. So Jadabharata has done detaching non-association, but he has not associated with any Vaishnavas like that. Prabhuji is asking.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, this question was asked
Yes.
in one class, Prabhuji, to Maharaj.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Maharaj
yes,
was telling Jadabharata is means he was in a liberated stage. As you rightly said, he is connected constantly to Supreme Lord.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
That's
he
what.
was, he was in constantly 24 hours. He was connected to the Supreme Lord.
Correct.
So that is what Maharaj was answering.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for
thank
clarifying.
you.
And he is also called a Dhira, means he is completely detached. He is in a highly elevated situation.
Correct.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhu. I have a doubt. In the fall down of Bharat Maharaj, is there one of the reasons is that there is no spiritual master in his case? Anything like that, Prabhu?
I think one reason that we heard is he doesn't have the association of the Vaishnavas in the forest, right, Mati? That is one reason. I mean, see, that is for our understanding. Actually, all the characters that comes in Bhagavatam, Actually, they have done that way by the inspiration of Lord only. Okay, so for our this thing, I think I have heard in one lecture that we should take the example from them, that we should not be, we should always have the association of devotees. That is the lesson that we have it. For them, actually, yeah, it is a leela actually. So Lord would have inspired and then done it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Once
Okay.
again, you are always inspirational to us.
Oh, Hari Hari. Yeah.
Thanks, all
Please bless.
devotees, for being there,
Hari Hari.
attentive, and tomorrow again we'll meet at 7:15. Let's end class with Vaishnava Pranama. Vancha Kalpataru.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare
Thank
Krishna Prabhu, what I wanted to ask you is, was there a spiritual master for Bharat Maharaj?
Mataji, I am really not sure, Mataji. I have to check and then confirm, Mataji. Yeah, yeah, I have to check and confirm. Yeah, probably somebody can help also. Dhammabalde Prabhu or someone who knows the answer. Gaushan Gopinath Prabhu is also there. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they should have had the. He was a king, so obviously there will be like.
Always, sages keep coming and then giving the guidance, Prabhu. Yeah.
But anyway, like they will have one Kulaguru or like as a king, so they keep getting the advice from the Kulaguru or like someone they will. But name might not have been mentioned here. I don't know.
They should have it actually. Why? Because at the prime of his youth, he could give up everything. Means he must have that association with the saintly people. That is why the it became Jnana and Vairagya. Without that association, he would have not left the kingdom for sure. Because he would have associated with saintly people before, he could give up very easily, like Malavat. So we can be 100% sure of that.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, bro. Thank you. Ending the class here. Again, we'll meet tomorrow at 7:15. Right.
Yes.